exactly we implement queues. So, what exactly queue is basically, in ordinary English, a queue is defined as a waiting line, like a line of people waiting to purchase tickets, where the first person in line is the first person served, something like that, right? So, if you talk about here, in this case, this is a queue, right? This is a queue, and this is the front person. There's a person who's at the front, and this is at the back. The person who will join the queue first is going to serve first. That's a basic idea behind this. That means it works on first in, first out basis, right? Whereas in case of your queue, your stack, it works on last in, first out basis. Okay, so this is the basic idea behind the queue. And real life examples of queue are, a queue of people at a ticket window, right? A queue of people at ticket window. The person who comes first gets a ticket first, and the person who's coming last is getting the ticket in the last. Therefore, it follows the first in, first out concept. First in, first out concept strategy of queue is there, right? The luggage checking machine, the luggage checking machine, it also checks the luggage first that comes first. Therefore, it follows the first in, first out principle of the queue. You might have seen in airport, you might have seen in metros, metro stations, right? Where the luggage has been checked and it works on first out, first. When the machine basically, pushes those bags or the items on first in, first out basis. Patients waiting outside the doctor's clinic. The patient who comes first visits the doctor first, and the patient who comes last visits the doctor last. Therefore, it also follows the first in, first out strategy of queues, right? Now, moving on to the next one. In computer application, that was the general life examples. In computer application, if we talk about the computer application, we similarly define a queue to be a list in which all additions to the list are made at one end and all the deletion from the list are made on the other end. Okay. Q are also called first in, first out basis or FIFO or short, right? For short. There's one more thing you might have observed, in computer application. Whenever you, give the print, you might have seen in class 11th practical examinations, right? Like, whenever you used to give the printouts, the person who gives the print first will get his printout first, right? So that process is also, works on first in, first out basis. Okay, because priorities are decided on based on first come, first serve basis, in terms of printers which is there in the network, right? So this is also specified here within a computer system. There may be queues, queues of tasks waiting for the printer for access to disk storage and etc. You try to store information in a disk in a network, so the person who has access the disk first will be allowed to store his or her information first on the storage device. The other person will remain in a queue, and once the first person stores its complete information to the storage device, then the next person will be allowed to give access to the storage device. So these are certain computer application, where actually we uses the queues concept. Similarly, we have got these various examples like in multitasking operating system, the CPU cannot run all the job at once. So jobs must be batched up and then the scheduled according to some policies. Again, a queue might be a suitable option in this case. What exactly happens in your you talk about uh, the operating system, because it works on, there's a concept called uh, round robin. Okay, in this case, if you, let's say you've got three processes, so it basically scheduled them in a queue, right? So if this is the first process, this is the second process, and this is the third process. So these processes are scheduled in a queue, and the first, I mean, the total CPU time is basically been given to the, I mean, the first third of the total CPU time is given to the first process, and then after that, the next process has been given the time, and after that again the next process has been given time. So each process will get the equal amount of time based on the first come first out basis. Okay, first come first serve basis, and this process goes on. But since the processor's speed is too fast that it seems that all three processes are running simultaneously, but actually they works in a queue. Okay, the first time is given to the first process, then the second process, then the third process, and again after first process, and so on. The total time is basically been divided by the total number of operations or total number of processes, right? So this is also an example of queue. Difference between stacks and queues, as I already talked about, that stack worked on last in first out basis, stack of chairs, stack of plates, and all, right? And queue, it works on first in first out basis, right? Line in a cafeteria, line in a movie ticket purchasing, rail ticket purchasing, or some other areas, right? These are certain examples of the queues. uh, the person who comes first will stay at the front or the head, and the person who comes last will stay at the rear end or the tail end. This is the graphical model of queue, how exactly the queue works, right? Then operations in a queue, we have got insertion. So insertion always takes place at rear end. That means the person who comes last or who comes most recent will join the queue at the last. Okay, any person, any atom which arrives most recently will join at the rear end. Okay, rear means at the back end, right? And the deletion is always done from the front end. That means the person who comes first, okay, will be delivered, will be assigned or delivered the items or the goods first, right? So this way basically the deletion works. Insertion is always at the rear end. That means the person who arrives most recent will join the queue at the last, and the person who is there at the front end will be assigned jobs or given items first. That is called the first in, first out, right? And the traversal of queue is always there from the front to rear. That means front to rear, the elements are going to be picked up and displayed. So when you talk about that, how many number of elements are there, you just need to always count from the front to rear. Now this is a simple program which similar to your stack as a list. This is again you will feel a similar similarity with that particular program. There from here, what exactly I've done from collection, import DQ. Okay, so this DQ is being imported from the package collection, right? And again, there's the same function is empty. This is simply going to check whether the queue which is being passed is empty or not. If the queue which is being passed to this function is empty, if the queue is not having anything, it will return true because it's going to check for the empty queue or not. If it is empty, it will say true. If it is not empty, it will say false. And based on that, the deletion and the traversal will take place. Now, when I talk about the insertion in a queue, we need to pass a queue and an item, and we know that queue is basically a list here. We are using queue as a list, and a queue is a mutable data type. That means any changes which you are going to do it when in this particular queue is a name given to a list, right? And we are going to implement this on this list, the first in first out concept. If we are implementing the first in first out, that becomes a queue. If you are implementing any list as last in first out basis, that becomes a stack. Otherwise rest of the operations will be there on a list. So these stacks and queues are two specific implementations of list, whereas the stack works on last and first out basis, and the queue works on first basis. Okay. So what all I did here in case of insertion, this was the insertion code, right? And in insertion, what all I did, I simply took a variable, the front and rear globally. These variables are declared within the main, and by simply having a declaration of global, that means no duplicate copies of front and rear will be created, right? So it's saying q dot append item. That means whatever the list you have got, the list name is q in this case. Q dot append item, whatever the item you are passing here, that item is going to be appended to the queue. If the value of front equal to -1, that means there's a very first item which you're going to append to that queue, front will become 0. Okay, so if this is a list, if this is a list, okay, and you're simply calling the insert function and by passing q an item to that, and it will simply append that item to the list. Let's say the item was 10. Okay. Now, if front equal to 0, sorry, front equal to -1, that means the front will become 0. Now, the value of front will become 0. We're implementing list as a queue. The front will become 0. That means front is now at this position, right? And rear equal to rear plus 1. This rear equal to rear plus 1 is going to increment every time, because for the very first time, when you insert one item to the list, the value of front, the value of front and the value of rear should remain at 0, because that element is the first element and that element is also the last element. So the value of rear will get incremented by +1. And if you see here, you know, the value of rear initially is set as -1. The value of front and rear, you know, the value of these two are initially set as -1. And the front and rear both are declared global now. That means no duplicate copy of these, you know, two will be created. So as soon as you say the rear equal to rear plus 1, that means the value of rear will become 0 now, because initially the value of rear was -1. So -1 plus 1 will become 0, and rear will also point towards the value that is 0. So, you know, logically, the rear is now pointing towards at this location, and front is also pointing toward this location, because only one element is there. So the first element and the last element as well. Next time when you again, you know, call the insert function, it will simply, you know, append this item, the new item, to the list, right? List name is q. So let's say the next element has been appended here. Now I think a front equal to -0, but front is not equal to 0, right? Front is not equal to 0. Sorry, I mean, we need to do it like this way. Uh, when you insert item, you know, this is a queue. A queue is generally considered as an item, as a data structure which is open with both of them. So the first element is going to be inserted here, right? This is 10. The front is 0, and the rear is also 0 according to the first one. Next time you again insert first one. So I mean, as for the data structure, this is 0th location. This is first location, right? First element is going to be appended here. Second going to appended here. But in case of your data structures like this, you need to understand it this way, that the first element is going to be pushed here or inserted here. The second element, which is the most recent element, is going to be inserted here like this, 20. And value of front is not -1. The value of front is 0 right now. So this value will remain 0. The rear equal to rear plus 1. Rear will be shifted to +1. Initially it was 0, and now it's 1. So rear is at 1 this way. Next time rear is at 2. Next time rear is at 3. Next time rear is at 4, and so on. So this way you need to understand the queue. Okay. So the value of rear is going to be keep on incrementing as the value of, I mean, as you keep on inserting item to the queues. Okay. This can also be considered like this. A queue is a container which is open with both of the ends. So the first value which you're going to insert, you know, here will join here, right? The value of front and rear both are initially -1. The condition will be checked. The front is -1, so front will become 0. So front will become 0. Rear was -1 initially, and I'm saying rear equal to rear plus 1, so rear will also become 0. So rear will also become 0. Insertion is always done at the rear end. So that's why the rear is 0. So element has been inserted here. Now next time when you insert one more item, what exactly happens? Q, it will simply append the next item. So next item is going to be appended here, right? It will check the value front. Is it -1? No, it is not -1, because it is 0 right now. So front will remain at 0th location. Rear equal to rear plus 1. Rear will increment its value by +1. So rear will be at 1 now. Okay, next time rear will be at 2 now. Rear will be at 3 now. So this last position says, this is the last position of rear. That means this is the most recent element which was arrived to the queue. So there's the first element and this is the last element according to our observation. So whenever you retrieve element from here, you retrieve it from front to rear. Or whenever you delete it from the front, because the first person who is always there at the front is going to be removed first according to Q, right? So let's see it in case of your delete. This is the deletion. Again, we have set the front and rear as global. If is empty, Right now it's not empty. If it is empty, then it will simply say underflow. So is empty is going to be called, the queue is going to pass to is empty. This is a is empty function. Right now the queue, I mean the list, has got a certain number of elements. So it's saying if queue equal to blank, is it? No, right now the queue is not empty. So it will return false. So if it returns false, that means, it will not say underflow. Okay, because this is going to return true. This is going to return false. Okay, if it would have been true, it would have said return underflow. That means underflow would have been displayed. Underflow and overflow. These are two terms used with the with the with the with the stacks and queues as well, right? So if you go for the else part in this case, right? If you go for the else part, because the condition was false, it will go for the else part and say item equal to q dot pop left, q dot pop left. And as you know, because we are implementing, this is a logical representation, but actually the element which is there in the queue is stored according to this way. This is the queue: 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. First element was this, second element was this, third element was this, fourth element was this, and you are appending like this. We are, understanding this way, that this is the front and this is the last, right? There's the first element, zeroth location, first location, second location, and third location. Okay. Generally, we consider it like this: the queue, that anything that has been inserted will come out first. That's why we're understanding the concept like this only graphically. But actually, in system, within the system, the elements, they are stored like this, right? So it's saying, when you delete it, it's saying item equal to q dot pop left. Pop left means the leftmost element you need to pop. Pop in list is going to pop the last element. You know about that. Pop is going to pop the last element from the list, and pop left is going to delete, or pop the first element. The most left element is going to be popped up. That value will be assigned to item. As you know, that pop function returns a value, right? So the element will be deleted from here, will be assigned to item. Now it's saying rear equal to rear minus 1. So rear was at third position. Now rear will become 2, because these elements are going to be pushed. 20 will become at 0th location, 30 will be at first location, and this will become at second location. Is that clear? So the value of rear is going to be decremented by 1. Rear will become 2 now. Rear will become 2 now. The front is at a 0th location. Again, front abhi 0 pe aa gaya, fir se. Front, if front is greater than rear, if any time the value of front is greater than rear, then the front and rear both you need to assign to minus 1. For example, if only one element is left, for example, the last element 10 is left, sorry, 40 is left. So at this time, the front is at 0 and rear is also at 0, right? Now it's saying item equal to q dot pop left. This element is going to be deleted because of the statement, right? Rear equal to rear minus 1. Rear will become minus 1 because the value of rear was, 0. Rear will become minus 1. Front is greater than rear? Yes, because the value of front is 0. The value of rear is minus 1. So front is greater than rear? Yes, it is there. So that if the value of front is greater than rear, that means all the elements which are there in the list have been deleted. So front and rear both will be assigned at minus 1. So front and rear will again come back to the minus 1, and the item which is basically been deleted will be returned from here, right? This is how you delete the elements. Display. Display again, you just need to set the front and rear as a global one. You display that, you just check it out first whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, you display underflow queue. The queue is empty, it cannot display anything. And if it is not like that, then you need to pick the element. You need to pick the element from front to rear. You need to pick the element from front to rear, something like this. It will simply say for I in range front to rear plus 1. So front is at 0, rear is at whatever the position, let's say 2 was there. So 0 to 2 plus 1, that means 0 to 3. As a result, 0, 1, and 2. These three times, for these three values, this loop is going to be executed. So q of I, the value of I is 0. So q of 0, the content of q of 0 is going to be picked up and displayed. The q of 1 and q of 2. And accordingly, the elements will be picked up from front to rear. That is how you display the elements, or that is how you traverse elements in a queue. Then moving ahead with that part, this is the main part. You know about that, right? So Q equal to DQ. Okay, DQ is basically a queue which allows you to delete the element from the front as well, right? Otherwise, you just need to make a bit manipulations, right? That delete this element, then shift the elements from from right to left and so on, right? So this queue does exactly the same job for you. Front equal to rear equal to -1. Initially, you give options to all the users that go for the insertion, deletion, and display or exit. And according to choice, if ch equal to 1, it will ask you to enter the item. You pass that queue and item to that, and accordingly that item is going to be inserted to the queue. If it is not one, you'll go for the next one. Let's say you enter two. So first time the condition will be false. Go for the next one, choice equal to, then it says item equal to delete within bracket queue. So this function is going to be passed. According to that value, one value is going to be returned. That value, if it is underflow, it says the queue is empty. And if it is not, it will say the deleted item is item. Okay. Similarly, in case of three, display queue will simply go there and elements from front to rear will be picked up and displayed. In case of 4, since it's saying exit, so break will simply come out of the loop. Okay. And if any value you press out of 1, 2, 3, 4, it will say invalid choice. And after each execution of